Okay, so what I'm going to do is just go over a couple extra other commands. So obviously once we're done cutting away everything we want and we've sort of, I know some of you guys are having problems with this fillet edge command. And you see I have problems too sometimes, but usually if you get it, I'm not sure why. I know it doesn't seem logical that just restarting the computer might fix the problem. Especially when it's not working for me either. Oh, there it is. It's like you got to get the right corner. So maybe the trick is you really got to get close to the edge. I mean, AutoCAD does have those, so idiosyncratic glitches. You spoke too late. Now you realize I didn't take over your computer? It's alright. Look up on the screen. Oh, okay. I just lost my... There it is. So that worked. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe like try to grab that inside corner, because it even worked with this complex. It knew how to deal with it, you know.
I was going to ask you that it doesn't matter, it has to, the radius has to be exactly at the edge, or those, so it, obviously not. So
no, yeah, I can do these, yeah. So once you're done with this is where we go ahead and we say explode. So we don't explode this to the end, okay? So you're done, because everything becomes individual surfaces. And we don't want individual surfaces until we're done. Okay, so we get that effect. Does that make sense? Alright, so let's look at a couple other commands. The important thing is the UCS command, and I know I went over this at one point, but if I can't remember when, you guys probably can't remember it altogether. So UCS is really an important command for us to start navigating in 3D. So say I want to start drawing like an opening here on the side, right? Let's go take a step back. So where it's still one piece. And say I want to like cut a hole or subtract something from the side. It gets tricky to sort of do that unless we can start to manipulate what's called the UCS. So this is our world user coordinate system, right? So we need to adjust the coordinate system. By default, it's XY from the top, right? Well, if we want to draw from the side, we need to have our XY moving vertically. Now, if we use the view, and then we say, bear with me, brain's not working. Um, 3D views, and then if we pick, like, in this case, we know front is what we're looking at. We can see automatically the UCS, see how that flips? It puts that UCS in the front position, so it flips it for us. So if we go, and now it's, you see how everything is top is our new surface. The top becomes the new, the front becomes the new top. So we just like flipped our product on its side, per se. Does that make sense? So the top now becomes sort of our new side. Now, this is sort of a confusing way of working. I like to use, a lot of people work this way in 3D, especially if they're like not from original AutoCAD. I'm going to go to UCS World, type in plan, enter, just to get to the plan view. So what we're going to do, I'm going to show you how to flip up the UCS and be in a 3D view. So if I type in UCS, that activates a bunch of commands. So we can pick a face, we can do all different things. What's key here is we can rotate about something. So I don't want to pick face, but if I wanted to rotate about something, in this case I want to rotate about the X. And what I'm going to do is flip it up. So if I type in X, enter, 90, enter, this will flip up because I'm rotating about the X. So that means, let's go on this. Oh, sorry. Let me go to UCS World. Yeah, I was going to go over that, but I want you to see it from this side. So UCS, X, and then 90. I'm rotating 90 degrees about X. What that means is I'm rotating 90 degrees. Positive 90 is counterclockwise. So it's flipping X, Y up. Sorry, it's rotating about X. So we're rotating about, and it's flipping it up. So now I can draw in this surface here, right? So if I draw now a circle, I'm drawing it on that elevation, okay? So then if I do an extrude, I can extrude in this direction. So that way if I do a subtract now, okay, it has it already. My video card is freaking out. I have this hole. There it is. Okay. So UCS, and it's not always X. I mean, we can flip this thing around all day. To bring it back, let's bring it back to world. I type in UCS, enter, which is spacebar, W spacebar. That brings it back. Then I type in plan, and then enter is current, and enter again. Plan, enter. And this brings me to my current view, which is world top. Right? So this is me looking down on my piece. So then if I go back into like an isometric, I can go UCS, X, 90. I can then rotate. Say I don't want to draw on this side, I wanted to draw on the other side. I can go UCS, Y, 180. That'll flip it all the way around. Does that make sense? Like I'm drawing from the back side. I can go UCS X negative 90, put it back down. UCS Z 90. So I'm rotating about the Z now, back to where it was. So I'm flipping around the UCS. So this is really important when you're working in 3D. Okay? Especially if you start doing things like an elevation. Okay? Is this making sense? UCS. So UCS, then what you want to rotate about. So if you want to rotate about the X to flip up the Y, you rotate about X. So UCS spacebar, X spacebar, 90 spacebar. Okay? Plan, enter will get you to the elevation. So if we want to go to this elevation, plan, enter. Actually, just plan, enter once, I think. So now I'm on this elevation. So it's like me working from top down. I just reorientated, not the object, but my coordinate system. So the object is still world in our 0, 0 position. So as soon as I type in UCS, enter, W enter, plan, enter, enter, I'm back in the world position. So world is like where we always are. Yes, makes sense. So after this is important, especially later on when we start working in 3D. So I'm going to go ahead and explode this again. I'm not sure what this means. Might have I have a tube going through my project now. Okay. Let's go back to go to X-ray so we can sort of see that. Okay. So you pick a corner. Next is to pick a corner like an isometric. And then we can do a couple things. The easiest thing is to just come from here, go to File, Plot, choose Adobe PDF, 11 by 17. I always like to do a window. And then you can just center the plot. Fit the scale is fine. If we preview this, we'll get something that looks like that. This is in X-ray mode. And then we can plot that. I know last time you guys were skeptical of Illustrator or Photoshop. So if you don't want to touch that software, you can just print it straight out of AutoCAD, all right? We'll see how that looks. That's sort of the one technique. The other thing we can do is go to, we can also pick the rendering styles here. Let's go to Visual Style Manager. We can sort of see what those look like. That was the X-ray that we just did. That's hidden. That one won't give you the inside geometry. Obviously wireframe. So if we do a wireframe, we can just plot. I can just go to previous, so pull up all the previous. Preview. Wireframe will actually give us line geometry. Okay. Then we can plot that. The other option is to start giving this thing some materiality and render it. Okay. So what we're going to do now is, if we go under, we had a couple of things. If we go to render, we have our material browser. And then we go to view, render, we have our material editor. So at this point, what we want to do is we can go ahead and make a new material. So down here, there's a little plus, and we'll pick, say, plastic. And then we're able to say, like, it's glossy. We can also say transparent. We can give it a color. Try to give it a color. Not taking my color.
I mean, none of your business.
There it goes. Okay. And then from here, what we can do is apply this. So what we're going to do is we're going to call this something. So let's say in class. Oops. And then if we go over here, we see it over here. And what we do next is just sort of select everything. And then if we right click on our material, we say assign to selection. So we right click, assign to selection. So we select all our parts. And we can see, I know this is my part, it says in class plastic. Right click, assign to selection. Then we can go back to render. And then we want to go advanced rendering settings. This is where we're going to start setting up, eventually, more importantly, is our output size, right? If we just sort of test this first, and then we'll come back and manipulate this. We go to view, render. Sorry? Yeah. I'm pretty sure. Did I pause it? No, it's recording. I had paused it. I started up again. View, render, render. And there's our plastic piece. Now the other thing that I want to change is the background, remember? This is always a... So I'm going to first check a few things in rendering environments, because this is where our background should be, but it's not. It just has environments like fog. So we're going to go to... last time we did background, and we were able to pick a color. So we type in background and then pick a color. And then I'm going to kick up the resolution. So we're going to go to specify output size. And this is where we have to use some math. Real difficult math, so let's pull up the calculator. If we know we want to print 11 by 17 and we want a minimum of 100 pixels per inch, 11 by 17, 100 pixels per inch, how many pixels do I have? 11 inches?
1100.
Alright, I'm just making sure I brought the calculator. So 1700 by 1100, yeah? Add 2 zeros. Hit OK. This is our new resolution. If we go now to view, render, render, it's going to take a little bit longer. And we have to go slightly dark with the background so we get some variation. I think this gray is going to work. Well enough. So these are sort of the, effects of the reflectivity and so forth. So once this is done, we can go to File, Save. I like to save these as TGAs, Targas. throw it on the desktop real quick. And I want to save it with alpha. So I'm going to do 32-bit, 24 bits plus the alpha, and I'll show you what the alpha is in a little bit. 32-bit. Hit OK. Then we're going to go to your other favorite software, Photoshop. We're not going to go in Illustrator today. We're just going to look at Photoshop, keeping it easier. We'll do like a couple commands in Photoshop, just like don't have to know the software. It's like getting in a 777 and just turn on. There's one switch. There's 3 switches. Don't get distracted by all the other switches. Focus on 3 switches.
Maybe that's that thing again.
Ooh.
Don't get distracted. This, you know, alpha didn't even work, so that was a waste of time. I don't know why the alpha doesn't work. Okay, so this is fine. So let's look at what the 3 switches. Image, adjust. Sorry guys, I have to take, since the alpha didn't work, save this. Let's redo that again. Save it. I don't know why it's not working. Just save it as a TIFF. Take it back, save it as a TIFF. Make life a little easier. There's an alpha there too. I wonder. Just put it at 24-bit. For some reason the alpha is not coming up. The alpha should be giving whatever. There's no object. Just it should give us like a punch out of that. But it's AutoCAD is failing us. So we're going to open up the TIFF. Image, adjust, brightness, contrast. So I guess 3 buttons. Image, adjust, brightness, contrast. We're going to give it some brightness and contrast. I like using Legacy. You use Legacy, it's more aggressive. Okay. And then the other thing we're going to do is there's a magic wand right here. Even better, we're going to go to a few more, but let's do this. Select color range. I'll try to just stick up here. Select color range. And then we're going to pick on the gray. And we're going to turn the fuzziness to 10. Select color range, fuzziness to 10, pick the gray with the eyedropper. And then hit OK. This will select everything that's gray. We then do a select inverse. And then I'm going to go edit, copy. I'm then going to make a new file. We'll switch this to inches. Make this 17 by 11. Hit OK. Edit, paste. Now my resolution is a little too small. I'm going to scale. These are these little scales, so I can scale this thing up, which is fine. Photoshop actually interprets the geometry. You should never really do that, but to make life easy. And that's it then. All we need to do is save this. And what I'm going to do is save it as a PDF. And then just save it. And just hit yes, yes, yes. Just be a yes man and there's a PDF. And then you just print this. So this gives a little better sort of quality, right?